the Caregiver Connection podcast by Best Care, where we dive into new topics each week, drawing inspiration from our insightful and educational blog posts. We're committed to providing valuable information that impacts both home care clients and caregivers. Without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode. Family caregiving, living away from the loved ones that need home care. According to a study conducted by the National Alliance for Caregiving and AARP, 72% of family caregivers live within a 20-minute drive of their loved one they provide home care for, and 13% live within an hour. This means that 15% of all informal caregivers live an hour or more away from those they provide home care services for. Long-distance caregiving is generally a much more difficult task and takes a greater amount of planning and strategy to be successful. This added travel time can also put a strain on a caregiver's wallet. A survey done by the AARP found that long-distance family caregivers had the highest average annual related expenses of $8,700 when compared to those that lived with their care recipient, and that was $5,800, and those who lived nearby of $4,500. For those caregivers that live a significant distance away from a loved one in need of home supportive services, visiting regularly can be difficult. If the family member lives a great enough distance away, the caregiver may only be able to visit a few times a year. This does not mean that they can't contribute to their at-home care. Here are some ways long-distance family caregivers can benefit their loved one's home health from afar. Stay in touch by sending cards or movies of yourself and designate a time each day or week for a phone call. Research your loved one's illness and treatment to better understand what they are experiencing. Get to know your loved one's friends and neighbors and ask them to check in every now and then. And finally, seek professional home health services for your loved one for a home care agency or personal care attendant. If your loved one lives in the Twin Cities area, is in need of personal care services, contact Best Care. We will work with your family member to start PCA services with a personal care attendant of your choosing. You can get started by completing the Best Care online contact form. If you find this podcast helpful, share this with a friend, leave a review, and don't forget to subscribe. Contact us today for expert guidance and support. Visit bestcaremn.com. Thanks for listening to the Caregiver Connection.